Hello everyone, my name's Kyle. Thank you for stopping by to check out my video here on Arena Hacks. I like helping all kinds of people get started with Arena Magic the Gathering Arena, and just building your collection on a budget, tips and tricks and things I do. And yes, I love sharing all kinds of gameplay and decks that I build on a regular basis. So if you're into any of that, please hit that subscribe button down in the bottom corner right here where I am. And as for today, I'm not actually going to be doing any gameplay, but I'm going to be talking about the new set coming up, Innistrad, looking at some spoilers, looking at the pre-order, and offering my opinions on that, as well as, before getting to those pre-order stuff, with the spoilers, I'm also going to be going over mechanics and new gameplay stuff that's coming with Innistrad. So stick around and we'll be getting right up to that right now. So here are the spoilers, I guess, or the little teasers that Wizards of the Coast put out. This website is just the Wizards of the Coast MTG website, where they put out their own little leaks and spoilers. You can just click on it on the main page in Arena. I will also have a link in the description for this video, so you can check it out down there. One thing I wanted to touch up first, so a lot of the new players, this is a great card that people beginning, because it's just uncommon and it's going to be a really powerful interaction card, is Borrowed Time. It is like exactly like Banishing Light, and in my current beginner's guide video that was basically for 2021, I spoke very highly of Banishing Light, which is almost identical to this. Exact same mana cost, has the exact same ability, and it's an enchantment, white, it enters the battlefield, exile anything that's not a land from your opponent, and it stays exiled as long as you have that enchantment on the battlefield. So the downside is, if your opponent has ways of destroying enchantments, they can destroy your Banishing Light, or Borrowed Time is what it's going to be from now on. They can destroy it, and much like Portable Hole, they get their stuff back. So that's a little bit of a disadvantage there. But again, because it's not rare, it isn't uncommon, it's great for beginners. It's very low mana cost to be able to take down anything non-land. And a lot of times people will struggle to be able to destroy an enchantment. And when they do have the means to destroy an enchantment, it's more likely they're going to target a class that you have or something else that's more powerful rather than this, unless they really want their stuff back. You know, it's back and forth, but really good card. Banishing Light was great for people to be putting in their new decks when they're just getting started out. So seeing Borrowed Time here is actually really nice. So it's going to be around for the next 2 whole years, this whole 2022 and then 2023. It's not until September of 2023 when this bad boy is going to rotate out. So he's here for a long time to come. So I thought I'd point that out, thought that was really cool. Candle Trap's an interesting new makeshift kind of removal. Pacifism's still going to be valid in the 2022 meta, so Candle Traps, I mean, 1 less mana. It works a little weirder. It gives the creature Defender instead of making it unable to attack or block. So it just can't, it can block still, but it can't attack. And even when it does block something, this enchantment prevents all combat damage that the enchanted creature would deal. So even if it could attack, it wouldn't be able to deal combat damage anyways because of the way the enchantment works. And it also gives you the option in the future to exile the creature that this is on. Again, I think this is a great low-cost alternative for beginners to shut down a creature earlier, and as they build up their board and meet that Coven cost, I'll get to the new mechanics in Innistrad in just a little while. I just want to spend a brief time going over some of these new cards and spoilers, and then I'll get all to the new mechanics. So if you can make the Covenant trigger and pay that 3 mana, you can actually exile that creature, which then becomes really powerful, because now it's basically an exile creature effect. More of a long-term, shut them down right away, and then later on, let's just get rid of them for good. So that's pretty cool there. There's a lot of other really cool cards I could spend a lot of time talking about. I want to try to keep this spoiler section a little bit more brief. You know, like, it's just like you could spend hours just reading through all these cards and everything they're putting up here. This guy looks really cool, really annoying. Can return stuff back to your hand when it dies, and a lot of creature synergy, humans, even though this is all supposed to be all about wolves and werewolves. Yes, that is definitely obviously a big thing in the set, but I've noticed a lot of human synergy as well. And then just creatures, a lot of powerful creatures. I like these full-bodied land, these full art lands here. Neat that they're black and white. I hope these border colors show up predominant in gameplay, so it makes it easy to identify what color the land produces at a glance. This black and white color in the images, I think it would pop more if it was color. I've always liked color images a little bit better. I mean, the effect of this black and white does make the art look really cool when I'm looking at a nice big copy of the card right here, right now. But in gameplay, I think more color to easily identify this as a blue source of mana and a white source of mana, I think would be well, we'll see. I don't know how these lands are going to look in play. We'll see. Hopefully they will be easy to identify and they will be a little easier on the eyes. I do think right now they look really cool. I'm just worried about how effective and how easy you'll be able to identify them on the battlefield. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Some really cool rares and stuff here. Enduring Angel, I actually researched. You can read through this whole thing. Actually, I'll go through it quickly. Flying Double Strike for what, 5 mana, 3/3 Flying Double Strike. Man, you have hexproof. Okay, that's getting interesting now. If your life total would be reduced to 0 or less, instead transform Enduring Angel and your life total becomes 3. So this is the transformation. Angelic Enforcer. Flying, you have hexproof, and its power and toughness are each equal to your life total, and whenever it attacks you, double your life total. That sounds freaking sick right there. Wow. But more importantly, it's that last sentence on this side that it caused a lot of confusion for me. I did a bunch of research on it, on specifically that last line on this card. And all I really got was speculation. What people believe that last line is supposed to mean and how it's supposed to work. And I thought I had figured it out, and I'm trying to remember it now. And I'm like, it's weird what I came up with. And I honestly, I can't even remember what it was about. It's something to do with creating copies of this. If you create a copy, it can't like a token copy of this will not be able, it's not a card, right? A token is not a card. So if you copy the Angelic Enforcer, I can't see any issues with that, right? There's no way to transform it back. There's no ability here to say to transform it back into Enduring Angel. But if you copy Enduring Angel and that token tries to transform, it won't. And therefore you should lose the game then. Because if Enduring didn't transform this way, so if that happens, that condition happens, only if that condition happens, because the sentence says, then if Enduring Angel didn't so if you have an Enduring Angel, the condition of having your life total reduced to 0 or less gets met. The token wouldn't transform, because it can't. Then if it didn't, I'm guessing here. See, this is still just a big guess on my part, and I think that's the best I could come up with. That if you create a token of Enduring Angel, a copy, and then you hit that transformation thing, you just lose anyways? Yeah, maybe. What are your thoughts on this, everybody? What do you think? You're going to see some play with this card? I don't know. I do like the flip side. Dang, I love that. You attack equal to your life total, like attack with it, and it just doubles your life. Oh, man. So even before it does damage, it will double its power and toughness because it's doubling your life total, and its power and toughness is based off your life total, and you have hexproof, which means no more soul shatter, no more of that, target player sacrifices a creature. No, yeah, I got hexproof. You can't do that. Yeah, so I think that's mostly about it for some of these spoilers I wanted to go through. Creeping In starts off as hostile. Sounds really cool. I kind of like that one. Nice little read to check out this card, see what's about, see how it transforms. Wonder if it'll see play, how good it'll be, how effective. Kind of interesting. What I want to get onto now, though, is actually going to be some of the mechanics. Some of the things you're seeing on here might be a little confusing, so let's get on to some of the new mechanics that they're bringing to Innistrad for us. Midnight Hunt. Okay, so here we are on the page where another Wizards of the Coast page, just official MTG website here, where they do explain the mechanics and everything. I'm not going to go over reading every word for word that's on this this site here. I've already done that. I've read through all of this already, all the way down here. I'm just going to summarize for all of you what I read here and how I am understanding these new mechanics to work, which can be a little confusing, and you sit and think them through a little bit, and I think I got a pretty good handle on it. So one of the first big things here is this headline you see up here: day and night, day bound and night bound. Day bound and night bound will be found on creatures that do basically how it sounds. It binds them to day or binds them to night. So usually that's a transforming like this. This is two different arts for the same card. So there's the Tavern Smasher, right? Same side, and that's Tavern Ruffian for this side. So I'll swap it over just to see each one of each side here. So you see here, this guy's day bound, which means this creature, if it's day, if it's currently daytime, we'll get to how you switch day and night. That's what this will be. As soon as it becomes night, this guy will flip and become Tavern Smasher because he is night bound. And if you can see in the brackets here, you may have noticed it actually explains right there. It's fairly simple what causes it to be day or night. The thing is at the beginning of the game, what is it? And actually at the beginning of the game, it is neither. It is neither day nor night. And then as soon as a creature is played that has either day bound or night bound, and in this set, as far as I can tell, there is no creature that you can cast that has night bound. You have to cast a day bound, make it become night, and then that creature will transform into the night bound creature, but you cannot cast the night bound creature, is what I've noticed so far. There may be a card that works differently. I haven't seen it yet. So odds are to make it day, or to make it become day or night first, and it's neither, you play a day bound creature and it will then become day. So playing a Tavern Ruffian, if it's neither day or night in the game and I play the Ruffian, it immediately becomes day, and the Ruffian stays as the Ruffian because it's day. And that's already a spell, so it doesn't count as casting no spells. But if somebody doesn't cast spells, then all of a sudden the next turn. Now he doesn't have haste, so he'll have Summoning Sickness. So if my opponent's next turn after I cast the Ruffian, if he doesn't cast, let's say they're playing some more reactive deck, they're waiting for me to cast something else, and they don't cast any spells during their turn, when it becomes my turn, it becomes night. Therefore, he will immediately transform into the Smasher, and now I can actually hit in with a 6/5 instead of a 2/5. Now, with Nightbound, it works the other way around. If a player casts at least 2 or more spells during their turn, it becomes day the next turn. So we can actually attack in with the Tavern Smasher, cast 2 spells or more, and then it's not until our turn is over and it ends that he transforms back into the Ruffian, the 2/5 day-bound Ruffian, because it's only the next turn that it changes from day to night. And that's basically more or less how day and night works. It starts out as neither. You play a card that forces it to become usually day. There may be ways to force it to become night as well. There also are a few unique cards printed in the set as well that can force it to become day or night without these standard conditions that you read within the card. Without those conditions being met, there are other ways to force it to become day or night, that'll just say on the card. It will read on the card, pay this mana, tap this artifact. If it's night, it becomes day. Otherwise, it becomes night, right? And things like that, right? So there are other ways to change day and night, but this is probably going to be your main way here, is depending on how many spells are cast or if nobody casts any spells at all. And there's just a lot of reading up on that down here, all down here, transforming. That's just, yeah. There's a lot of transforming, it's not just day and night. There's other ones. Disturb is another one here. So the Disturb mechanic is interesting. It's basically a way of recasting, getting more value out of your cards. You play a creature, you get the value of that creature. When that creature dies, if it has Disturb, you can play the Disturb cost from your graveyard, but you're not getting this creature, you're paying the Disturb cost and you're getting the transformed creature instead. You're getting the other side of the MDFC. Instead of like the old MDFCs where you just chose which side it was when you played it, a lot of these in Innistrad are just transforming either back and forth or like, like this one's called here. What is this? Disturb. This Disturb aspect, you're just bringing it back from the graveyard, but you're not really bringing it back. It is changing. It is different. So for this card here, you're playing the Bait Hook Angler first, right? You get a 2/1 for 2 mana. You play around with him, you attack with him, you do your thing, you do whatever. He dies somehow, he chump blocks, whatever. He goes into the graveyard as the Bait Hook Angler. But as soon as you cast that Disturb cast, now you bring him out and you flip him as you bring him out, and now you have the Hook Haunt Drifter. When this guy dies, and a lot of these cards with Coven, it's not Coven, I'm thinking of the wrong disturb. I keep forgetting it. Disturb. A lot of these creatures with disturb will actually, they all with this disturb do have this ability here. If Hookon Drifter would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. The neat thing about this is if you read that wording carefully, and they all are worded this way, is that if it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere. So if you put Hookon Drifter into your hand or somewhere else, not your graveyard, it does not get exiled. So if you're attacking and your opponent blocks, or you're chump blocking with it and you have a way to snap it back to your hand, you can actually then recast it. Now that it's in your hand, it goes back to being a bait hook angler. 2 mana up here, you can cast the bait hook angler. He dies and you disturb him again and get your Hookon Drifter back. Really freaking annoying is how I see that going. Really annoying. There are probably other cards that do have abilities that as you're flipping them or as you're playing them on their reverse side, they do get extra benefits and stuff like that. So that'll be things to pay attention to as well. So the disturb mechanic is not too, I don't find it too complicated. Coven is not too complicated either. It's really just simply, it says on each card too, that you just have to control 3 or more creatures with different powers. So in this one is at the beginning of your upkeep, beginning of combat on your turn, if you can trigger Coven, so if you have 3 or more creatures with different powers, then you get to do this. So you just have to remember that. For Coven, do I have 3 creatures with different power? Coven is then triggered. It does work in different ways, like I was looking at Candle Trap earlier. That's awesome. That I didn't even know they used that as the example on this page. Excuse me. But yeah, and that's really awesome that they bring it up here, because it is a slightly different way that Coven works. It's like you have this ability for 3 mana that you can pay and do this, but you can only pay 3 mana and do that if you can trigger Coven, if you have those 3 creatures all with different powers. So something to pay attention to with Coven as well. If you're able to trigger it, or if you just have it, like a spell like this also becomes much more value. 2 mana, target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Not bad for 2 mana, not great, nothing special, but if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you get to draw a card when you do that too, and that's really cool. You're getting +2/+2, replacing this instant that you're playing out of your hand, so you're keeping your hand nice and full. That adds a lot of extra value if you can trigger it. So it's just things like that to pay attention to. Those are all like the really big mechanics and differences in the set. As you see, we're getting to the bottom of the page here. Yeah, so that's just things to think of. I am really interested to see how some of these are going to work. I'm not sure about Coven. As I mentioned earlier, I can see this Disturb being really freaking annoying. It's like, oh man, you got your creature back in. Oh man, you bounced it back to your hand instead of dying. Now you're playing 2 creatures over again. Like recursion. Oh man, this I can see being a lot of fun. The day and night, complicated a little bit. It's definitely, I think, to be one of the most complicated new mechanics they're adding here. I don't think it seems complicated to me. I think it's going to be complicated in the sense that it's going to be hard to keep track of, like what's going to happen next. And it's like, oh right, it changed to night. I have a Smasher now instead of a Ruffian. I wasn't planning for that. I got to rethink my turn now, right? Because it could just be, I feel it could be an easy thing to overlook and just miss. Oh, opponent played 2 spells this turn, or didn't play any, or whatever. And it's just, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm excited to see how it's going to work day and night. That being said, let's go on to the next section of the video. Okay, so here we are on the next step of our video today, where I'm going to be discussing these pre-orders here and just what I think on their value. Whenever it comes to spending your real money, just a quick little disclaimer, what you can afford to spend is up to you. I'm not qualified to give actual financial advice, so I like to talk about gold and gems and stuff. When it comes to things like this, whether or not you have the money and are able to afford to spend the money on something like this game is entirely up to you and your actual financial planner. So that being said, I'm going to get on to just my opinions on these things and whether or not they're a good value. And I say yes, they are good value. I wouldn't say they're like a crazy good value or anything like that. When you hover over this question mark in the bottom, that's how you see exactly, you see that black pop-up box there, right? Boop, there it is. So you look at that black pop-up box, and that actually breaks down everything that you get in this, and it works for anything too. If we go over here and we hover over this thing here, you know, you get the Beholder Pet and Xanathar Guild Kingpin Sleeve. Right over this one here, you hover over there, it just gives you these emotes and stuff like that. It just explains everything to you, and it works like that for everything. So in this pre-order, you get 50 Innistrad Midnight Hunt boosters. Now, the way I break down the cost in the store of being roughly 200 gems per pack, and roughly $1 for every 200 gems, just if you get the big gem deal for $100. That's just the best value per gem that you get for your money, right? And then that works out to about $1 US for every 200 gems. I'm not sure how that works for euros, the only other currency that they accept on Arena. But the way I see it, your 50 booster packs in this package pretty much equals the price you're paying for it. So you're paying $50, you're getting 50 boosters. You're not getting ripped off, but you're not getting a good deal either, right? But you are also getting one Erlen the Pax Hope. So you're actually getting that card. That is a mythic rare card. You know, they're not, okay, when I hover, it doesn't make it bigger here. I think that's the Planeswalker there. But anyways, you can actually see that earlier in the video when I was doing the spoilers. If you look through that page and you go through the multicolored spells, you can actually read up all about Arlen and what she is able of doing. But anyways, you get one of those cards, right? That's a mythic rare card you're getting for free. So there's bonus value right there. Not much, one copy of one mythic rare you're getting for free by buying this package. That's pretty cool. You're getting the Arlen card style. I don't put value on cosmetics. Yes, it's cool. It's nice that you're getting that for free. Really cool. And you will immediately receive the Moon's Fury sleeve. Again, more cosmetic stuff, but it's free stuff. And yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool. So the only thing of value that you're actually getting additional out of it that I put value on, I should say, because like I said, I don't put the value on cosmetics, is that extra mythic rare copy that you're getting. I don't know. I haven't fully broken down price and costs of everything when it comes to draft tokens and how much they cost and everything. But when I look at this and I try and I think about what a quick draft costs and what the 10,000 coins that a normal or player draft costs, and then a sealed draft is not even in coins, you have to pay gems. So you're getting one sealed token, 3 draft tokens. And when I look at the $50 here, I'm thinking it's a little more of a guess because I'm not as much of a drafter. So it is a little bit, I'll admit, is a little bit more of a guess on my part, but I'm thinking it's about the same thing. You're getting, what is it here? It's Ren and 7. You're getting a mythic rare Planeswalker, a different one, but you're getting that one mythic rare copy of a card. That's basically your extra value that you're getting in here. Everything else, I think, seems to be pretty much on par. So if you're into drafting, you'd want to go this way. If you're not that great at drafting like me, I always go for this one. You could go for both. Once again, that's entirely up to you. And there's a whole, I'll have a whole discussion coming up as I'm updating and remaking a 2022 beginner's guide playlist. I will be talking about drafting, whether you should be spending your gold on drafting versus buying packs. That is so not a black and white. That is a very loaded question. A lot of people will say this is better, but it all really depends on you and the type of player you are. So deciding that is a whole other thing, whether you want this package or this package. And yeah, like I said, I'll have a whole other video on that coming up later on this channel. So stay tuned if you are curious to hear more about that. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get this package. I won't do it here on the video. It's kind of boring, you know, security stuff, credit card, all that stuff. Boring. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing probably today at some point, is ordering this. I do it every set release, which is one every quarter, which is, you know, 50 times 4, $200 a year, US. So that's a whole year of playing Magic, and I can get a lot more cards on Arena than $200 would get me in like paper cards. So I see a lot of value there, and that's my opinion on these two pre-orders here. I think you do get a little extra value in them, just that little bit bang for your buck. So I do think they are worth it, and I do like them. And I do always get this one, not this one, because the draft tokens just don't carry as much value for me because I don't draft that much. Oh, and one more thing I forgot about this package here for the pre-order. It does come with a set mastery pass for Innistrad, which just means it unlocks the mastery. So if we go to mastery up here and take a look, it basically unlocks, oh yeah, I already have this unlocked for this season, right? But you know that 3,400 gems down here in the corner, that's basically what that does. Back over here in the store, where it says right at the top, Innistrad Midnight Hunt Set Mastery Pass. Blah, blah. That's this little gold thing here in the middle, I'm guessing. But yeah, that does have extra value that I forgot to mention. And it is important. Like, it has a lot of value in the mastery, so I do encourage people to try to unlock that every season and to save up gems just for that. That's mostly the only thing I ever spend my gems on. But when it comes to buying this whole pre-order, it still comes down, most of your value is within those draft tokens. So it is more, are you drafting or not? Because if you're buying this whole package just to get that mastery pass and you're not getting as much value out of the other things, then it's not worth 50 bucks just to get the mastery pass. Try to save up your gems in other ways by paying attention to the daily deals over here in this corner. Sometimes they just basically give away gems, and you can, like, you spend some, you have to have some gold, but you can trade your gold for gems then when they have those. And even if you have some gem, you can actually use gems to buy a higher amount of gems. It's kind of weird. That's why they're kind of giving you some free gems when they do that. They do the same with gold sometimes, but it's just like you're spending less gold to buy more gold, which is weird. It's just like free gold, sort of. But anyways, you pay attention to stuff like that to save up gems, and you go for the mastery pass in that way. Maybe if you're getting started, you just buy some extra gems in the store, but there's many other ways that I get the mastery pass other than doing it through this pre-order here. So I just wanted to cover that before we wrapped up for the video. So that all being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Hope all of you newcomers have learned a lot from this, how new sets work. We got rotation coming up now, so try to pay attention to the 2022 play queue right now. We're only got a week away till it gets reset, not even a little less than a week. Today's Friday, so yeah, next Thursday we will be getting Innistrad, and rotation will be happening at that time. So yeah, hit that thumbs up, all of you guys out there who like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I hope to see you guys all at the next video. Cheers.